Hey everyone, what's up? This is the Alter Ego Report. I'm John Griffin.
I'm Lynn.
And we finished it. The Defenders. Marvel's The Defenders on Netflix. We finally slogged our way through this series. And this is a little on the underwhelming side.
It's so disappointing.
This is the culmination of a couple of years of pretty damn good TV, in my opinion. 2 seasons of Daredevil, 1.5 of which were amazing. That second half of season 2 was okay. Jessica Jones, which looking back on it gets better and better.
Phenomenal.
Luke Cage was really, really good. Iron Fist, not as horrible as everybody said it was,
really?
But still not very good.
It's pretty bad.
But it's finally happening where they're all coming together. They're all finally meeting each other. They're going to form these relationships. And this is the epic culmination of all this time we've spent watching these shows. Except for that epic culmination part.
Yeah.
It just didn't happen.
It does not work
the way I wanted to. Now, for me, I know you didn't like this very much at all, but there are aspects of the show that I did like. One of which being the acting, I thought was still really good.
Yeah, except for Iron Fist. Well, he was so bad. And even his acting, it's not just how weak the character is in this series.
And he is still, they've improved him since his original series, but he still is the weakest character.
He's still a very untalented superhero who's extremely whiny, extremely naive, extremely self-centered.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. Takes him forever to get that fist to glow.
But the funniest thing is, though, it's almost like the TV show notices that because they called him a thundering dumbass a couple times. So it's almost like they understand that he's still an idiot. But
it seems like they are trying to make it seem like it's on purpose.
Yeah, again, but I'm kind of over him being the worst character.
Yeah, he's pretty bad.
Because in the comics, I kind of like Iron Fist. He's pretty cool. I like his look, I like his style. Yeah. Somebody get a costume on this guy for crying out loud. But, so, again, for me, the characters work. The relationship between Daredevil and Jessica Jones, I thought that worked.
Yeah.
And it surprised the heck out of me. You know, fan favorites Iron Fist and Luke Cage. They kind of a buddy team in the comics. I thought their relationship worked. I bought their little awkward friendship, and the fight between them. It was hilarious at first with Iron Fist trying to kick him and just bouncing off of him. Mm-hmm. But I liked that. That's about it.
That's about it.
Everything else is not great. The story
itself is so bad. It really does not make any sense. It's like
there's a lot that doesn't.
You took all these amazing superheroes and put them together into this one show for that?
Yeah, that is kind of like the way you felt at the end. Like at the end of it, you're like, oh, that's how you wanted to go with that?
Okay, so we all know it's still the Hand. They're still fighting the Hand.
Which is probably the weakest villainous
But now we find out the 5 fingers of the Hand, who they are, and get to know them, and then you're like, that's it?
Yeah, you at first you almost think, oh, this is gonna be a little bit interesting. They might be intimidating,
it's nothing.
And then it's not.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver is the head of the Hand. We finally meet her,
but she's the scary bad guy.
And her acting wasn't bad.
No, it's not just her as an actor.
It's the way they went with it.
The character was not scary. There was nothing intimidating about this villain. I would barely call her a villain.
Yeah, and she clearly intimidated the other members of the Hand, but I didn't really get why. I didn't get that in the least, and nothing was explained about that.
And then finding out the reason why they were doing everything.
Oh,
it was just
that was dumb. What their final plan is dumb.
You're like, you got to be kidding me.
It's dumb, and the fact that what hurt the show itself as well, the Hand's overall plan, which it really hurts the series, that it evolves around Iron Fist.
Yeah, the weakest character.
They're taking the weakest character and you like made him the focus, and everybody else is.
They're not sidelined. They're not sidelined. They all have their own little stories, but I really didn't care for anybody's story. Like,
yeah, I still did, but I know you had some other issues with it.
Well, okay, for my main issue, the Black Sky. What was that?
We've been building that up since Daredevil season 2, and that.
we all know that Elektra was the Black Sky from the previous series. But then they brought her back and were like, okay, let's see what this Black Sky can do. And she can't do anything except be really strong at her kung fu moves. Well, like, it didn't make any sense. She was a little fast.
Yeah, she was faster and stronger, but
that was
still, that's it. I thought
the Hand's plan was to bank on this Black Sky who was just a really...
Yeah, it was essentially a bodyguard for Sigourney Weaver.
Yes, it didn't make any sense.
That's all they brought her back for. All that work that the Hand is doing to give Sigourney Weaver a bodyguard. It just didn't play out right. And I'll tell you what my biggest complaint of the show is. The director and of cinematography, whoever, I gotta go back and look.
Oh my gosh.
Can you please explain to me why there are scenes where they'll last 35, 45 seconds where the foreground is a glass or somebody's shoulder.
And you're seeing the reflection.
That's unfocused. And the person that's is in focus in the background is literally the top third of the screen. And the rest of it's just fuzzy black. And that lasts for minutes.
Yeah, it's not good. Who
and
thought...
They do it a lot.
Yeah,
they do
thought
it a lot.
That shooting this in that way? Like, it was so awful.
It was so distracting. It was very distracting, and it
Not
took
only
you out
that,
of everything.
Every series we had so far had a fight scene that you can remember.
That's true.
This series had no fight scene that you can remember, except for Iron Fist trying to fight Luke Cage and being so sad about it.
Yeah, the action is better than Iron Fist. The choreography is better than Iron Fist.
Really? Well, how could you tell? Because everything was so choppy. The main fight scene where everybody was involved at the same time, at the end. Like
the one before, it's the fight scene before the final fight scene. It's chopped to pieces.
You could not see one thing going on because they chopped in the middle of a punch, went to something else, and then came back to the end of the punch. I was like...
And what I thought about that is usually heavy editing like that is used to mask bad stunt choreography. I don't believe that was the case here.
That was not.
I believe there were good stunts going on and good fight choreography that aren't being appreciated because of this pretty awful decisions they made to edit this thing to pieces. So I actually feel bad for the stunt choreographers and the stuntmen and women on this show because I believe their work wasn't properly shown. Now the final fight scene, they finally did one, like they've done in Daredevil Season 1, Daredevil Season 2, where they did one pan where it's one shot for at least 45 seconds. And I was like, well, there it is.
Yeah, but even then there was nothing that I could really appreciate about the fight scene. Like,
I agree.
It wasn't an amazing...
Still pretty... Yeah, I agree.
It was an amazing fight scene. To have all of these superheroes come together and you just look at it and say... that culmination was not better than any of the ones from a single series. No,
you can go back and watch the hallway fight scene from Daredevil Season 1, the stairwell fight scene from Daredevil Season 2, and the Punisher fight scene from Daredevil Season 2 in the prison. And they're amazing. Some of the best,
nothing like that.
And there's nothing like that in this series. And in the end, this series, I didn't dislike it as much as you did.
I did not like it.
But again, it was a massive disappointment.
First of all, this isn't first of all, this is like seventh of all. But still, the series should have started where episode 5 was.
The first few episodes... The first few episodes are...
unnecessary. Unneeded. Yeah. You just wasted so much time on a short series as it is. You didn't give it many episodes, and then you wasted a bunch of episodes.
Yeah, there was... I felt like episodes 4, 5, 6 almost kind of felt like they were getting...
better?
Finding their footing a little bit, because the first few episodes were not very good for me. And then it fell apart.
You fell asleep during...
I did. And then the last episode kind of just took everything. All the goodwill it built up in those middle episodes was gone.
I think the only good thing about the show was the last 5 minutes.
You like the last 5? Okay, well
that's all I liked of this entire thing.
Well, that's sad. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give Defenders 2 stars. a massive disappointment for me. I didn't dislike it as a lot of other people I know, but again, I wanted so much more, and I didn't get it.
I think that's a really high score. I'm giving this a half star. This was bad. Not worth your time to watch at all, especially if you're a Marvel fan. You would be really disappointed watching this.
I wanted more.
Well, thanks for watching our review of The Defenders. If you saw it, go ahead and let us know what you thought about it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe.